What's happening, everybody on YouTube? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com, coming back to you with another video. And in today's video, I want to give you guys 5 tips, 5 things to consider before hiring your first employee. And I'm putting quotes on employee for a reason, which I'm going to explain in a couple of minutes. But I'm going to wait for everybody to pour on in to this live video right now. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We got Aaron Kluge in the house. What's going on, Aaron? Great to see you, man. Hope life is going well for you. If you guys are coming in live right now, feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're from in the world, and also let me know how long you have been selling on eBay. You know, I still remember getting started on eBay over 6 years ago, and you know, since then there's been a lot of changes, there's been a lot of growth, and I've learned so much. And you know, on your journey, you're going to evolve, you're going to transform, your goals are going to get bigger and bigger, you're going to learn more, your experience levels are going to increase. And you know, you might be just getting started right now saying, you know, this is tough, I'm having a hard time. But I tell you right now, there will probably come a point, if you're really looking to make and turn eBay into a really nice income source for you, there's going to become a point in your reselling career where you want to hire people, you want to scale, right? You want to make more money, you want to grow your sales. But one of the problems you're going to be dealing with is trying to figure out, how can I scale my eBay business, right? How can I earn more? How can I increase my sales without increasing my time in the business, right? How can I make more money on eBay without going from spending 30 hours a week to 40 hours a week? Or how do I take my sales from 7,000 a month to 10,000 without going from 40 hours a week to 60 hours a week? That's really the key. And that's why we all started eBay businesses, right? We didn't start eBay businesses to work all day long. We didn't start eBay businesses to be stuck inside listing all day long or to be outsourcing all day long. We started eBay businesses to be able to build a income for us that allowed us to have the freedom that we really wanted. And you know, like I was saying before, if you want to scale your business, you're going to have to learn to get help, right? You're going to want to learn to get help if you want to build a real business other than just a glorified job, in a sense, right? Because when you work a job, clocking in, you're clocking out, you're kind of stuck there. You don't really have your freedom. And for a lot of us eBay sellers, you know, we do have our freedom in a sense, but we're really trapped in the business. So if you want to get out of that, one of the keys is to hire help. But hiring help is not only going to bring solutions to you, it's also going to bring more problems to you if you're not considerate of some of these things that I'm going to mention. So we're going to get right into this video. What's going on, Lisa? We got Wichita, Kansas in the house. Great to see you here. I'm in Connecticut right now. It's about 55 degrees. Just getting ready to go into the warehouse, sipping on a nice coffee. All right, so let's just jump right into it. What's up, Bill? What's up, Ty? Good to see you guys. So let's talk about some things to consider before hiring an employee. And I keep putting quotes on employee, and this is going to transition to my first point. When you hire somebody, they're not automatically going to be an employee, right? They could be either an employee or they could be a 1099 contractor. So I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what the difference is, right? But do your research on this. When you're hiring people, if you hire someone who maybe works at your warehouse, you're giving them all the supplies, all the tools, they're using your tools, they're working in your warehouse, you're telling them when to come, when to clock in, when to clock out, you're giving them exact directions. Those are some of the traits of an employee, right? If you hire somebody and they're maybe they're a sourcer and they kind of go out sourcing whenever they want, they've got their own scanner, they've got their own tools, they kind of make up their own schedule, things along that line, they could be considered a 1099 contractor. Now, for you, what does this matter? Why do I care about what the title of this person is that I hire? Well, it all comes down to taxes for the most part. So when you have an employee, you're going to typically have payroll. You're going to have to be cutting them a check. They're going to be on the books, which is going to cost you money. A lot of times if you have an employee, there's more liability on your part. There's taxes that you have to collect. There's additional fees that go along with it. So those are some things to know. When you have a 1099 contractor, you're typically cutting them a before they work for you, you're typically cutting them, I believe it's a W-9, which is essentially giving you all their information, their social security number and all that. And when it comes to tax purposes, you can write a lot of stuff off. So they're eating more of the cost because they're a contractor. So I'm not a CPA, I'm not a lawyer. I probably slaughtered a little bit of that, but hopefully you get the idea. So when you hire somebody, you want to talk to your CPA, you want to talk to your accountant, and you want to, kind of clarify, are you hiring this person as an employee or as a 1099? Because if you hire them as the wrong classification, there could be some consequences in the eyes of the law. Number two, when you hire somebody, you want to be specific, right? You want to hire for the role other than just hiring for the business. So what I mean by that is when you hire somebody, you don't want to just bring them into the warehouse and say, hey, I want you to do everything. I've made this mistake. I'm actually kind of currently making this mistake right now. Even though it's a mistake, I did it just because I wanted to have like a learning experience, and I have other businesses. So my eBay business isn't like my only business, or I'd probably do things a little bit smarter. But hire for the role. Like, don't just hire someone to do everything in your eBay business when you're trying to scale. Hire someone for maybe your photography to start. So maybe you continue doing everything in your business, but you alleviate the photography, which might save you 5 hours a week. Or maybe what you do is you hire someone to do sourcing, which is pretty hard if you're doing eBay. That's probably one of the last things I would outsource because it's just so important in the business. Another thing that you can outsource or hire for is shipping. Maybe you're running a big wholesale eBay operation, or maybe you're up to 20, 30, 40 items a day shipping. That could take, I don't know, what do you guys spend per day shipping items out? Let me know. What are your sales and how many hours a day do you spend shipping? The average eBay seller is probably spending about an hour a day. So it would be tough to hire someone just for the shipping role. But in about 6 to 8 months, I'm gonna get to the point where my eBay sales are gonna be so much where I could hire someone part-time just to do shipping, because it's gonna take them 3-4 hours a day. So consider hiring for the role. Now, how do you know what role to hire for? Pretty much the exercise that I did recently, and what you wanna do is you wanna take out a Google Doc or a piece of paper, pen and a pad, or go with the old school pencil, and write down all the different parts of your business, okay? So there's pillars of your business. There's important things. There's bigger aspects of your business, such as sourcing, sorting, and grading, listing, shipping, customer service. Those are gonna be some of the big pillars in your business. But don't just stop there. Dive deep into each individual one, because you might even wanna hire for a role within a pillar. So instead of just hiring for someone doing listing, maybe you could just outsource photography, right? A good thing to outsource is kind of sorting and prepping. That's a great thing to outsource at first, because there's a lot of time that goes involved in cutting off tags, pulling off stickers, ironing clothing, possibly measuring clothing, maybe grading items, especially if you do a lot of electronics. Do they work? Testing items out, cleaning, prepping. That can take a lot of time. If you're doing pallets or bulk, having somebody to take everything out and sort and organize and grade and prepare and prep and get ready, that's definitely something that takes a lot of time. So when you hire somebody, don't freak yourself out and overwhelm yourself to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I have like 50 tasks that I'm doing in my business. How do I outsource and train them to do everything? Take a step back and hire and train slowly but surely. Give them one task. And then when they master that, then you can give them another task, another role, and you can build them up. And then once you get to the point where you're doing $10, $15, $20, $30,000 a month, if that's your goal, there's going to be enough volume, there's going to be enough going on to where you could probably hire on more people to manage the various pillars or roles, however you want to call it. Okay, so number one, we talked about some of the differences between a 1099 contractor and an employee, which again, I'm not a professional. Talk to somebody who knows it better than I do, but that's something to consider. 2, hire for the role, write down all the tasks in your business and start to figure out, okay, what do I want to outsource first? Because the key, this is why we're doing this. If you're wondering, Steve, why am I doing this? I'm just spending more money, it takes more time to manage them, there's less margins, why am I doing this? The reason you are doing this is because you want to take yourself out of the business. When you're working in the business, essentially what you're doing is you're becoming the bottleneck in the business, because you can only grow so high. Like, this is your potential. You can't grow anymore because this ceiling is stuck at how much you can source, how many deals you can put. So you need to figure out what it is that allows your eBay business to grow. And for you, it's going to be bringing in more high quality items and listing more items. So that's what you want to spend your time doing, finding more deals and listing more items. If you're stuck shipping, prepping, sorting, organizing, bookkeeping, dealing with taxes, all these things, like, you want to start hiring people to help you. If your goal is to scale, if your goal is to make an extra $200 to $500 to maybe $1,000, $2,000 a month profit, and you want to have something to do and you want to feel like you have a purpose and you want to work 20, 30 hours a week, then do it. This video is not for you. I would just click out. But if you want to scale and build a business that gives you freedom, a business that allows you to take off to a Tony Robbins event in the next couple of weeks, or a business that allows you to be able to sleep in, or a business that allows you to be able to take time off, or a business that allows you to only work 5-10 hours a week, but generate $5,000 profit, this is what we are talking about, okay? This is why we're talking about this stuff. Number 3, one thing I want to let you guys know, because I have a lot of experience hiring people in the physical form, a little less, but I have experience hiring employees in 1099 contractors. I also have a lot of experience hiring virtual assistants. Hiring people, this is a valuable lesson to know, okay? Hiring people is going to amplify whatever it is that you have going on in your business. Hiring people is going to amplify however things are going on in your business. Now, what does that mean? If you are running an inefficient business and you're sloppy and you're unorganized and it's chaotic all the time, hiring people is only going to amplify that. It's only going to make more of that come about. Let me say that again. If you hire people and your systems are out of place and you're inefficient and you're unorganized and everything's a mess and chaotic, it's going to make things worse. Hiring people is not going to solve your problems. Hiring people is only going to amplify your current state in your business. With that being said, one of the most important things that you're going to want to start doing, and this is something I'm working on, I'm actually reading a really good book right now. Big shout out to Romer the Roamer. I've heard of this book in the past. I read it before, but I wasn't ready for it. It's called The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, I think it's Michael Gerber, Michael somebody. And the book's all about why most small businesses fail, why most small businesses are chaotic, why most small businesses go out of business soon. And the reason is because they don't have standard operating procedures. They don't have systems in place. They don't have an exact ingredient, a recipe to get that end result. Why are some of the best restaurants, why do they stick around for 10, 20, 30 years? Because they have systems in place. There's specific systems and processes that they put in place to get a predictable outcome each and every time. A great example is McDonald's. I want you guys to do me a big favor. Go on Google and type in McDonald's manuals, training manuals. And what you can do is you can study what are the most successful businesses of all time, McDonald's, and study how they put together their systems and processes, right? They're called SOPs, standard operating procedures. They're training manuals. And you can see that they have a exact step-by-step system for everything, from making the food to greeting people to taking the drive-through orders to taking the cash. These are all important things to consider. So what does this mean for you as a small business owner? You want to start documenting your business. You want your business to run a specific way. You want when you're listing items, you should have a manual, a book, whether it's a Google Doc or just a book that you print out, step by step, exactly how everything is going to get done. Why? Because again, it's going to make your business efficient. It's going to make your outcomes predictable. And what's even more important, let's just say that you hire somebody. You spend all this time, all these resources, all this effort hiring somebody and training them and taking all the knowledge that you have inside your brain that you've learned over the last 5 years from Rake and Profit. Just kidding. And you give this to them. You take all this knowledge and you give it to this person and you give them everything that you have. And guess what? 3-6 months later, they say to you, Steve, I appreciate you, working with me and giving me this opportunity, and I learned so much, but I'm gonna have to leave in the next 30 days because I got a new job. Oh, what are you gonna do in that? What are you gonna do? I had to beep for that. What are you gonna do in that situation? You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna start back from square one, and you're gonna have to train them and export all your knowledge to them. So you're wasting time, you're wasting resources, You're stressing out. It's a lot of work. What if you had documented everything from the beginning? What if you had a step-by-step training manual breaking down the exact photography process, the exact keyword process, the exact listing process, the exact shipping process? You know what I'm going to be doing? Because my business is starting to grow, and I haven't really shared too much about what I'm doing in my warehouse, and it's different than what you guys probably think, but I'll share with you in another video. I'm documenting everything in a Google Doc. In a Google Doc, I'm documenting every single little process. And now the processes are going to change as eBay changes, the platform changes, I grow. So I'm going to have to go in and consistently update these manuals and trainings, but I'm documenting everything in a Google Doc, in a spreadsheet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my videographer come over, and one day we're going to just spend making videos, and it's going to be all training videos. So then as my business grows and I have to hire a new lister, hire someone to do photography, hire somebody to do grading and sorting, prepping, hire somebody to maybe manage the relationships in my business, I'm going to have videos and text documentation for everything. So this is what I've been learning from E-Myth Revisited, which is a great book. This is what I've been learning from a book called Traction. That's a great book to look into. So I know I kind of went on a long-winded response, but let me know if that was valuable at all. Put a 1 in the comments if you feel like that was valuable, or maybe you're like, you know what, Steve, I just don't care. I'm going to run my business chaotic. I know where everything is. Matter of fact, I got a friend, I want to strangle him sometimes. He's got like 600 items in his inventory, and he doesn't have an inventory system. Nothing's skewed, nothing's identifiable. Everything's just all over the place, and he keeps telling me, he's probably gonna watch right now and be like, F you, Steve. But it's true, like, he's building these really unstable foundations in his business. And I said to him yesterday, I said, what's gonna happen, brother, if you end up in the hospital for 2 weeks? Is anyone gonna be able to find your inventory? He's like, it's gonna be really hard. And it's true, you gotta start building your systems for your inventory. Start building out systems and processes in your business, okay? Next thing, number 4, how much to pay. How do you pay, and how much do you pay your contractors or employees? Now, a lot of this is going to depend upon where you live in the country. If you live out in the middle of the country, you might be paying $8 an hour. If you live out in California, you might be paying $20 an hour. If you live in Connecticut, I'm paying between $12 and $15 an hour. So it's going to depend upon where you live, and it's going to depend upon the quality of the contractor or employee that you want to hire. So if you're going to pay the least amount, you're probably going to get a low quality person working for you. They're not going to probably care that much. They're going to see you as not really investing in them, investing in the business, and you get what you pay for. Now, I'm sure it's a generalization, but you're going to have to figure that out based upon where you live and if you're looking to hire people for the long term or the short term, right? How do you pay? Do you pay cash? Do you pay Venmo? Do you pay PayPal? Well, it depends upon if you're going to be doing things the right or the wrong way, the legal or the illegal way. Obviously, you can pay cash. It won't be on the books. That's against the law. You can get in trouble for that, but that'll be at your discretion. I don't pay cash. I pay PayPal, so everything's on the books. So right now, I have 1099 contractors working for me, and I will be hiring employees in the future as my business evolves and whatnot. And when that happens, they will be on payroll. So I have a payroll service. If you're wondering about my legal entity, I'm an S Corp. So I already had a payroll company set up in my business, because when you're an S Corp, you're essentially an employee to your company. That's what I am. So I'm already getting paid by myself in a sense. I'm not going to dive too deep into the weeds because I don't fully understand it, to be honest with you. A lot of this stuff goes over my head. So again, everything I'm saying regarding like legality, taxes, CPA, like accounting, like always, like don't listen to a random dude on the internet. Come on. Like I can give you tips, but it could differ based on where you live and whatnot. But I already had a payroll service set up. So you could pay, through payroll if you have a employee. You can pay Venmo, you can pay different various ways, but just make sure it's tracked and it's on the books and you've got your books connected, whether you're using QuickBooks or GoDaddy bookkeeping, whatever it is you're using. Make sure you have a system in place. Should you pay per hour or should you pay salary? Should you pay per item? I've done per item in the past when I didn't have a warehouse and I used to drop things off at my contractors. It's so easy to say my employee's house, but again, an employee and a contractor is different based upon tax purposes and different things like that. So I used to drop things off at my contractor's house, and I used to pay per item because I wasn't there to watch over them. Now that I have a warehouse, I pay per hour, and we have a system in place for tracking time. We use Google Sheets, and every day we track exactly how many hours they work, and then they document how many items they listed, their outcome, so on and so forth. So that kind of covers how much to pay. Again, a lot of that's going to be up to you. I can't really cover too much. I can only share what I do. And then the last thing I want to mention right now, when you start hiring people, it becomes more and more important. It becomes crucial to make sure that you know your numbers. As your business starts to scale, as your business starts to grow, and you start to work on your business instead of inside your business, what's going to happen is your profit margins, for the most part, are going to start to slowly decline. Why? Because you're used to making X amount of money, and your overhead is your typical cost of goods, your typical fees, your shipping. But then you start hiring people. So now you have maybe payroll fees. Maybe you have so you have payroll fees. You're paying your employees. Maybe you have warehouse space. In my warehouse, I have utilities. I have trash. I have different expenses, right, that go along. You know, in my business right now, we're growing a consignment business on eBay. So we're doing consignment with some really big Amazon sellers right now, and that's the model that I'm going after at this current moment. I am doing thrifting and garage sales. Well, not really a ton of garage sales now, but I am doing thrifting to kind of support my growth because our business is not profitable right now because we're only like 2 months in. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you got to know your numbers because there's more and more expenses. I have to pay out my consignees every single month now. So my profit margin, which was a 50, went to a 40 to a 30, which is sitting around like a 35 right now. But I know as we grow, it's going to eventually settle down more around like a 20 to a 25% profit margin. You got to know your numbers. You've got to know your numbers to a T. So spend your time as a business owner working on your business, right? Improving your business. When Ray Kroc started McDonald's and he took over the, what the heck's it called? Not the corporate, the franchise. He didn't just start working inside of McDonald's. From what I understand, he rented out another building down the road and he was creating McDonald's in that building. He was the mastermind for it. He wasn't in McDonald's doing all the little stuff. He was working on it. He knew the numbers. He was growing it from the outside, working on the business. And that's what scale is really about, from my understanding, as I grow and evolve. So hopefully that helped. If you guys thought that this video was valuable, smash that like button, show some love. I'm gonna open up the floor for a couple of questions and take a breath and sip on my coffee. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away about anything. Sold my Corvette yesterday. That was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I ended up selling my Corvette yesterday, which feels so good. I'm gonna be making a video about why I sold the Corvette. I bought a Toyota Tacoma. Has nothing to do with, well, it does have to do with finances, but a lot of people are probably thinking like, oh my God, he had to sell it, he's broke. I am actually kind of broke because I just bought a second house, but it was for different reasons that I'm only gonna tease you with now. I'm not gonna tell you the exact reason why I did it, but that video will be coming soon. I'm gonna scroll through and read some comments. KLC Reselling, how did you find your employees? So I found one of them was a follower of my YouTube channel. So I get a lot of people reaching out to me. And I know a lot of you guys are looking to quit your job and build your business, but you just need a little bit of income to kind of support your growth because it takes time to figure it out. So I had one of my subscribers reach out to me. He had gone to a couple of my Connecticut thrifting meetups and I hired him that way. I just hired another girl and I found her by putting out a Facebook job post. So you can put out a posting on Facebook. And what I did is I boosted it for $50 within 15-mile radius of my warehouse location. I ended up getting 32 applications. So I had 32 applications, and I guess I could talk a little bit about how I hired them. But the number one thing I look for, and this blew my mind, guys, this absolutely blew my mind, how freaking lazy people are. So on my application, I had like 4 questions. And I wasn't, like, one of the questions was, you know, how much experience do you have selling on eBay? Which I didn't really care about because I could train somebody. Another question was, share with me why I should hire you over all the other candidates. Another question was, tell me about your previous work history. because I want to get to know them. And I don't remember what the fourth one was. But the goal of me posing those questions in the application wasn't to really dig into their personal life, but I wanted to see how they responded. Were they detail-oriented? Did they check their spelling? Did they make an effort? Did they show an effort that they really wanted this job? And guess what? This freaking blew my freaking mind. 80% of the applicants answered the questions with 1 or 2 words or with a half a sentence. Super lazy. So I just immediately, didn't even waste my time. That's a great way to screen and vet these applications out. Immediately, toss to the side. If you can't put in 5 to 10 minutes of concentrated effort to fill out an application, why would I trust you with running my business? And that's something to keep in mind. So I ended up getting 32 applications. Out of those 32, it's kind of sad, less than 10% of them, maybe less than 20% were even even showed an effort. So ended up hiring one girl, going to get her trained up this week, hopefully. One of the issues I'm dealing with in my business is, one, the eBay business is not profitable at this point because we have to scale to a certain point because I'm paying people to do everything. Plus I have utilities and the warehouse, so it's not profitable right now. Another problem I'm dealing with is I'm not getting enough inventory coming into me. As I grow my consignment business, I need to build up my consignees and people that I'm working with, which takes time. And essentially what I'm trying to do right now is prove myself, because I know once I do a really clean up killer job, they're gonna tell everybody and they're gonna tell their friends. So that's just some of the growth struggles right there. Let me go through some more questions. Why did you do an S Corp instead of an LLC? Well, once you start making over $100,000 profit, and once I crossed the $200,000 profit mark, like I could save probably like over $10,000 in taxes based upon, I don't know what, to be honest with you, I forgot what it was, but it's when you're an S Corp over an LLC, there's some taxes that you don't have to pay, something like that. I wish I studied it and I could have responded to you and told you exactly what it was, but there's just tax benefits when you make a certain amount of money. I think it's like self-employment tax. You only have to pay half or something. I don't remember exactly. My accountant would be able to tell me instantly. But if you're making like 50 grand, or like, if you're, my CPA always told me, once you start making over 100 grand, you want to start considering going from an LLC to an S Corp. Yeah, you could save on some taxes doing an S Corp, making less, but then those savings are going to get wiped out by the extra fees that you're going to have to pay when it comes to tax season. Okay, so you just want to make sure it's the right time. What about when you're making about $500 a month? So what's the question? If you're only making $500 a month, I wouldn't hire. I would just keep, it just depends on your situation, right? I hired people instantly and automatically put me in the negative, in the red with this eBay business, because I'm making good money off of YouTube, right? I'm making good money off of Amazon. I'm making good money off of affiliate marketing. I'm making passive income every single month with my Kindle publishing business. So like the eBay business is like a fun thing that I'm looking to build up to like $5,000 a month profit. And I want to get 3 people working for me. So like my end goal is like, I want to spend my time making YouTube videos, right? I want to spend my time building my business. I want to spend my time, going out sourcing. I don't want to spend my time listing and doing photography. So that's why I did it the way I did it. But if you're only making $500 a month and that's your only income, or maybe you're working a full-time job and your income's limited, I wouldn't hire people instantly. So, my situation's maybe a little different than yours. At what point did you decide to set up an entity? Well, setting up an entity is only really going to protect you against it's going to protect you against liabilities. So, I mean, if you're starting up a business and you have assets like a house, or if you have money in the bank, or you have just assets in your personal portfolio, it's smart to set up an LLC to protect you against lawsuits or getting in trouble, because if you get sued, they're going to go after your personal assets. You want to have an LLC up or some type of entity. Again, talk to a lawyer. I'm not a freaking lawyer. To protect yourself, to shield yourself against any issues like that. Plus, there's some tax benefits as well, being able to write things off. I'm just reading through some of the questions. How do you get people to buy your products on Amazon and eBay? List them, baby. That's the greatest thing about selling on eBay and Amazon, right? For most traditional businesses, if you just walk down the sidewalk and look at businesses, you know, their main goal is to acquire customers. That's their main goal. That's the hardest challenge that every business has, acquire customers. For us, we don't have to worry about that in eBay and Amazon because we already have millions of customers on eBay and Amazon. What we need to do, like the main things in our business, and Caleb Roth was talking about this at the mastermind I went to, is sourcing, right? Sourcing and listing. Those are the most important things because once you source high quality products and you get them listed on the platform, eBay and Amazon, they do the rest for us, unless they glitch out. B says, your business is going to be great. I love how you are in the red, but your other businesses are paying for it. I keep working hard. A year from now, everything's going to be together. Exactly. You got to have faith. One of the biggest characteristics, one of the most needed characteristics of an entrepreneur to be successful is you got to have faith. You got to have vision. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to see it before it's real. You're like an artist with a paintbrush and a canvas. And the only way for you to be successful is to paint a portrait of exactly where you want to go. If you do not paint that portrait and start going after it, it's never going to happen. So, question, do you use a repricer for eBay? I don't use a repricer. Does anybody know if eBay has repricers? Because I'm at the point now, matter of fact, I want to pick some of your guys' brains right now. Can you guys share with me some tips for how you reprice your eBay items? Because I feel like I don't know everything. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm like the best eBay seller. Like, I'm not even close. Like, lately, like, I kind of suck at eBay because I've been working on the business. Like, I'm not super duper in it. So, like, I'm not like cutting edge right now. Like, you know, obviously you guys know I used to be full-time eBay seller, but things change so rapidly. What's your process for relisting? Can you actually share with me exactly how you relist? Because right now what I've been doing is going into bulk editing and then but I don't know if there's a better way to do it. So S Howe says, I just schedule a sale to reprice. What does that mean though? What is it? You know, I schedule sales through the markdown manager, but do you ever go through like do you guys have a system in place for, like, for example, Goodwill? They have a color coordinate system. So when a certain color sticks around for too long, they pull it, or they do like 50% off. Do you guys have any system for acknowledging how long stuff has been in inventory and then repricing it? I price my items 20 above solds and then offer best offer, and then on weekends I set up a markdown manager. But still, that doesn't solve the, oh crap, that doesn't, I'm like hitting the wrong buttons on the screen. That still doesn't solve the problem. You're still gonna have inventory sitting there. One thing I was thinking about was putting the date listed into a custom SKU and somehow being able to organize that. Like, one thing I hate, and maybe I'm just uneducated, I hate how shitty eBay's back-end platform is. Like, you can't organize things the way you want to do it. Like, it's like from 1950. Am I the only one who feels that way? Like, right now I have like almost 500 listings, and like going into the back end and trying to organize things and like put things in specific orders and like, what am I trying to say? You know how sometimes like on an Excel spreadsheet, you could hit like certain columns to get things to like go from A to Z, like based on the column. Like, I swear to God, I feel like I'm an idiot when I'm back there. Like, I'm actually gonna be on the lookout for someone who's doing maybe like $20,000 a month or more and hire them for like an hour or two to like go into the back end and teach me how to do it the right way. Because as I grow, like, I'm gonna get to the point where I have 1,000, 2,000 listings. I can't be doing things the way I am right now in my eBay business, right? I can't be doing it the way I am with repricing. I need a better system. So if anyone out there is doing like $20,000 a month or more and you're holding items in the physical, you're not doing like, what's that called? When you ship things out to Amazon, you have them fulfill it for you. Like, I wanna talk to somebody who can really help me in the back end of eBay, repricing, organizing, setting up some more advanced custom SKUs, because that's probably one of my biggest struggles and one of the things I worry about as I scale. Not FBA. I was talking about Amazon's multi-channel fulfillment. So there's a lot of big eBay sellers who ship everything out to Amazon. When it sells, Amazon will ship it to their customer. Right now, I think I have like 450 or 500 listings, somewhere around there. And my 30-day sales is like 5,300. My 60 days is like 8,600. And I haven't listed a single item in that account. Like literally, I haven't done anything in that account besides ship some items here and there. All I'm responsible for in that business is setting up the consignment deals and dropping stuff off at the warehouse. All right, let me read some of these comments because I feel like there's some real good value in here. Sometimes I up the price 10% and put markdown manager 25% to clear out any items of the site. Usually it takes about a month at the most to sell. Good tip. At what point do you begin to pursue additional income streams on other platforms, Amazon, eBay, Poshmark? That's a good question. That's a deep question. I typically start to, I'm always looking for other income streams, but typically once I get things figured out and I get things semi-outsourced or I get things under control, like a lot of my businesses that I get in nowadays, I don't have to like consistently be in it, like working on it all the time, like my Kindle business, like my YouTube business, like affiliate marketing, Amazon FBA. Like for example, Amazon FBA, I might bust my ass really hard for a week and then I can take my foot off the pedal and let things sell. And obviously sales will start to dwindle, but that's kind of how I do things. So number one, I look for opportunities that don't just absolutely massacre the time or the input that I have to put in. And I try to figure out and put systems in place. Again, but I'm looking for a lifestyle business at this point. The things I do in my business aren't necessarily the smartest for building like a super, super duper profitable business. If I didn't have the social media and whatnot, I'd probably just laser focus on one thing. But since I have social media, I can monetize pretty much anything that I do, which is cool. So some of the advice I give probably isn't best for you guys. You got to know where you are and you got to know what your goals are. All right, let me get back on track. Mr. Exquisite says, dead inventory after 3 months or so. I review the items. Are my pictures good? Are the specifics good? But my question is, how do you organize your inventory? Like, say you're in your back end of eBay and you go into your bulk editing. How do you organize everything? Can you organize everything based on listing date? So for example, what I want to do, and I was trying to figure it out and I couldn't figure it out. Maybe I'm really stupid, but I was trying to figure out how can I organize everything based upon the date? Is that based on, do you have to do it with your SKU? Or does it actually let you hit the column? I couldn't figure it out, Mr. Exquisite. Like, the thing about me is I'm so smart in certain areas and I'm so dumb. Like, probably one of the dumbest people you're ever gonna meet. Like, fixing things, figuring out certain problems. Like, it's crazy. So, like, I couldn't figure it out. So, I'm gonna have to hire someone to help me get past that. Maybe I'll have to look again. Maybe I was just freaking out. But I would like to organize my inventory based on date and then go in and kind of reprice more aggressively that way. KLC says, been waiting forever for my YouTube to monetize. Yeah, it sucks that they did that over the last few years, making you hit a certain amount of hours and watch time. But I just keep plugging away. On the custom SKU, I write the inventory number followed by the listed date. I have to do that. Right now for my SKU, this is how I do my custom SKU. So when we're listing items, we have a sticker. I bought a sticker off Amazon that goes up to, they come in rolls, and the rolls go up to like 10,000. They do go up to like 100,000, so I keep buying them. But I sticker my item that I'm listing, so that's an identifier, right? So we can identify the item, so when it sells, I can make sure when I look at my SKU on eBay, okay, this is the exact item. Because how many times have you guys shipped an item out that was the wrong item, maybe because it looked the same? You want to have an identifier, a number, a SKU on the item. So once we list it, we put that SKU on the item so we know exactly what it is. And then in our custom SKU, let me think about this because I don't do this anymore. What we do is we have in the SKU, we have the identifier. So the sticker that we put on the item, that's the first part of the SKU. The second part is the shelf number because we have multiple shelves. Okay, so we have the identifier is the first part of the SKU. So it might be 001-1. And then we have a dash, the shelf number, which would be maybe shelf 1, dash the row and the letter, and then we have dash the consignee. And we have that in, and then at the end of the month, we organize all of our consignees, we pay them out that way. But I'm thinking I should put another dash for the lister and another dash for the date. God damn, this SKU is gonna be huge. My SKU is going to be like 2 feet long. I got to figure that out. So yeah, it's definitely something I have to work on for sure. eBay platform is becoming really crappy. Sales that never start, promoted listings. I mean, it is what it is, guys. I know everyone in Facebook and YouTube are crying and freaking out now. I mean, it is what it is. I'm grateful to have access to eBay. I'm grateful that, you know, I don't have to acquire the customer. But, you know, they better get their shit together because people are going to be going to other platforms for sure. So it is what it is. Roll with the punches. I'm not going to sit here and cry over it. You know, I've watched a bunch of videos about it. I mean, we're all upset, but what are you going to do? But yeah, eBay, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with eBay lately. eBay's crazy. Garage sale Dale, babes. Oh man, we got some babes in here. What's up, Alyssa? Are you happy with the Tacoma? It's beautiful. I haven't received title yet. Literally, the Tacoma just came on the lot and I bought it instantly. So they haven't received title yet. So I'm not going to have the Tacoma for like a week and a half or so. But I'm pumped up for it. I'm really, really excited about it. It's pretty much the cheapest Tacoma that you can get. Like my new motto in life right now is like build up as much money as I can and build up as many assets as I can and minimize my debt as much as I can. Like I have no debt. Like I bought that Corvette cash. So this Tacoma, I'm getting $13,000 back and I bought that thing. I got pretty screwed on the Corvette. That was a really dumb decision on my part. I'm not going to tell you guys too much. I'm going to wait for the video. But that was probably one of the dumbest things that I've done in like the last couple of years. But hey, you know, you start having some success and you want to try to, you know, you want to see what it's like to be the man. You want to experience what it's like to have a super sexy car and get people looking at you. It's just human instinct. Like I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you guys. Like I pretty much got it for the wrong reasons. You know, I'm not going to lie, you know, met some pretty little gals with that, but I don't know. It's not for me. I thought I cared more about materialism than I actually do, but I really care more about freedom and growth and impact. So Aaron still loves me, so salute to you. Keeping it real. Hire away from all other great platforms and cut the corporate fat. Oh, man. Yeah. Quick question. How come I have no followers on my eBay store? I don't know. That's one thing I want to learn more about as well is if I had a niche store, if I had a store that was focused solely on like toys or focused like solely on like auto parts, I would focus on building up my following. Honestly, I don't know how to do it right now. I think there's a button for them to click to follow your store. But one thing I'm really interested in is email marketing on eBay. So there's actually softwares out there and I want to connect with one of them and I want to get them on my YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys do email marketing or you're big into internet marketing, but like I have an email list and I can literally print money. So by having this YouTube following, I use ConvertKit and I give away free things to build up my email list to add more value. And then if there's like affiliate offers or products or services or I'm selling something, I can literally send out an email and make money like that. The same thing is with eBay. I don't know much about it, but I talked to, I forgot what his name was. Crap. But I interviewed him at the eBay Open and he has a bicycle eBay store and he does email marketing in his eBay store and he's just able to print cash and make sales and do upsells and stuff. So that's one thing I'm interested in. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. About that, but I need to learn more about it. But anyways, guys, I gotta roll. I gotta go to the warehouse right now. I got some stuff to do, but I just want to bring some value to you guys. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. If you enjoyed this video, do me a big favor and smash that like button, show some love, help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And, you know, leave a comment. Let me know where you're from. If you have questions, challenges, things that you're going through in your life right now, thanks, Alyssa. I appreciate you. Leave a comment. I read the comments every single day. I make videos based upon the comments and your guys' struggles. If I don't know something, I'll bring somebody on to help you or I'll, you know, do my best. But time for me to fasten up my seatbelt, get rolling, crush the day. Thanks for all the love. Have an amazing day. If I missed any of your questions, leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next one. You guys rock. Have a great day. Bye.